Hey, it's Conor Smith, and I'm with McMahon on keys. A world ago.
Yeah.
That's wild. I haven't been to Mother's Ruin since that night.
Yeah, same. I know. It's been a minute.
That is funny.
Yeah, it was.
Ready?
Okay, here we go.
Well, Conor Smith, thank you for finding time for us today.
Thank you, man. Glad to be here.
I appreciate it, man. This is our first time at CRS, actually.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I've been here on the musical side before, but it's the first time that we've been here talking to folks like you.
Come on now.
And, you know, I'm not going to try to embarrass you, but I'm just going to say that as things started happening and the lineup started happening, I was getting from this, I was like, so, you think are we going to talk to Conor Smith?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, well,
You're pretty big, dude.
I'm glad
Like, let's talk about it.
let me see what we can do.
I love that. Well, thanks for making it happen. It's funny, we were talking right before the show about this show that I had played in South Haven with Riley. That was probably the worst show I've ever played.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
It's this funny story where I showed up down there. I was fired up to play, first time opening for Riley Green, arena show in South Haven. I grew up playing baseball tournaments in South Haven. I was all fired up. Friends, family, all down there.
Okay, we've got a lot to talk about with baseball, too, yeah?
And I showed up, and I went to grab my bag out of the van. Wasn't there. And I was like, did I leave my clothes? So I showed up. I had some slides on and some gym shorts. I didn't bring any clothes, right? So I had to piece together an outfit that night, which was like my drummer's jeans, my guitar player's shirt, like my family friend's brother's boots. I looked so bad. And it's a look good, play good. Like when you walk out there and you know you look like a scrub, you're just like, there's no confidence, right? And so I remember getting off that stage just like, oh, that was so bad. So anyway, you just reminded me of it. It's a funny story.
That is funny.
Yeah, well, I heard you did great from all my friends that were there, yes.
I appreciate that.
Well, and I will say, I've gotten to see you do your thing more recently.
Yeah.
Because on the weekends, I play keyboards with Chris Cagle.
No way.
And you played Faster Horses with us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Was it last summer?
Yeah, it was.
Maybe?
Yeah, up in Michigan.
Yeah.
That's an awesome festival.
Yeah.
We had a lot of fun at that one. Just such a great crowd, and everybody, they knew the songs, and it was a lot of energy, so it was really cool.
Yeah, that's definitely one of the big ones.
Yeah.
One of the big ones for sure.
Yeah.
So, your star's kind of rising, making a little noise.
It's been fun, man. We've had a really cool year. Thinking about CRS last year to this one, it's really grateful. Obviously, on the New Faces show on Friday, which is a really big deal. It's such an honor and something I'm really grateful for. But Creek Will Rise has really taken us to kind of a new level. Sitting top 10 on country radio, just had the record come out, and so we've been on this Creek Will Rise tour over the last 3 months, and seeing the fans show up, buy tickets, it'll never fail to blow my mind. And so I'm just really grateful for it all.
Yeah, well, it's fun to watch, and I've enjoyed actually listening to some of your commentary about it, just because I know when I was on tour and my tours really started kicking. We didn't have cell phones, we didn't have email really, and I actually. Would call friends of mine from college, from payphones, kept pictures because I didn't want to get sucked down the rabbit hole of all the screaming and all the stuff.
Yeah, for sure. It's
and
a rabbit hole for sure.
I've heard you talk about that. I mean, not so much in those terms,
but absolutely.
But you seem to be very decisive about not getting sucked down that rabbit hole. Is that fair?
Yeah, absolutely, man. I think I get to live my dream, right? And it's been awesome. But a dream, it's everything I wanted, but it's also never what you expect it to be, I think. And so there are so much pressures that come along with it, of being an artist and kind of being the name on the marquee, and people kind of look to you with a certain expectation. And there's also kind of the world is thrown at your fingertips, and you kind of have to decide pretty quickly what pieces you want of that. And so for me, kind of remaining and trying to remain who I am, keeping my friends around me, and keeping my faith at the center of everything I do, and kind being a believer, kind of trying to represent that in the right way in the middle of an industry or shows or whatever that can very, very, very easily pull you away. And I'm far from perfect and mess up more than I get it right. But I think having that as my anchor has been a really big deal for me. And so I got really good people around me, and I try to kind of keep the main thing, which is write good country songs, play good shows, and really connect with fans. There's such a platform. You have an opportunity to like make an impact for people. And so I never want to lose that respect, I think. And so that's something that I try to keep forefront of mind, which is really hard, but keeping the right people around me is the biggest deal there.
Totally.
Well, I know that, you kind of made a reference to the dark side of things that can come. But even apart from that, I remember the people that, when I was on tours and still on tours, and people would comment about, oh, the whole place is screaming. It's like, yeah, but they're singing the wrong words on the front row.
Sure.
Let's have some perspective.
Sure. Yeah, man. There's always a little bit of humility in it, and that's a good thing, right? Like, there was a funny video that came out recently of Mark Cuban talking about how Creek Will Rise changed his mind on country music. It was an interview he did for GQ. They asked him about his playlist. He was like, I hated country music, then I heard this song called Creek Will Rise. And when he said it, he said a song called Creek Will Rise by Conor White. And so he said my song changes his opinion on the entire genre of country music, then got my name wrong.
Yeah.
And I was like, perfect, it still kept that humility in there.
Yeah, just when you think.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so, there's definitely those. Dude, we were out last weekend and played 3 shows. The back 2 shows were incredible, packed out, amazing, screaming everywhere. And that first show, I won't name drop the city, but it was terrible. They did not give a dang about Conor Smith. And so it's when you're on the road, and every night's different, and you never know how many tickets you're going to sell. So you kind of got to keep your head even keel at all times. Don't let the highs be too high or the lows be too low.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I heard you say something before we started about playing baseball.
Yeah.
And when I played ball, it was the unsung position of right field.
Oh, come on now.
But the thing is, to your point, you can play well the whole game and be the guy that drops that one fly.
Amen, dude. Yeah, I played the Lily World Series when I was 12.
Oh, wow.
That's my claim to fame.
Yeah.
And it's funny, I caught the catch that took us to the World Series, and I was on top 10 plays for it. It was just really cool as a 12-year-old. But the rest of the series, I was just off hitting, just didn't play well, and so I got a little bit of both, which is that's what baseball does. If a sport's gonna humble you, it's baseball.
Right.
And so I grew up a big baseball player, played throughout high school, and had a lot of fun with it. And then you said
my brother. I was a baseball sister, so we were always at South Haven.
Are you from here? Where are you from?
I'm from Memphis.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're right by there.
Yeah, I'm right by there, but we would travel up there all the time.
Yeah. South Haven is the South Kingdom for baseball.
Yeah.
Those baseball tournaments get wild down there.
Yeah, and they got a pretty good stage out there.
Oh, yeah.
See, just pass
cool.
it.
I wanted to ask you, and I specifically want to ask about this part of it. I saw where you played the Opry recently. And I know she would fight you for it. But not only did you play the Opry, you played a song that was not really out there.
Yeah, Jesus
right?
and Me, right?
The song For Your Family.
Yeah, really cool story.
Which, I want you to talk about that just because it sounds kind of like a few times when I've had the position of you know what? If this is the only time I ever get to do this, this has to happen.
Yeah, that was kind of the framework for me. This was May 28th of 2022, or was it 21? 22, yeah. And I got to make my Grand Ole Opry debut, which is an unbelievable moment and still the highlight of anything I've ever done. I kept kind of saying it was like my wedding day into country music, right? You're at the Mother Church, and you kind of feel this. You kind of feel this moment of just the gravity of them inviting you to be on that stage, stand in that circle. I had 60-plus family and friends in the crowd. And so as I was looking at, hey, you get 2 songs to make your Grand Ole Opry debut, I could have very well played the single and whatever we had next. And I was like, man, this is too much of a moment for me not to do something a little bit more special. And so when I was 14, I had written a song about my great-grandparents who were married for 60 years and got married at 15, 16. And I wrote a song about their love story. I was 14. I played it for my parents. My mom said, "You're going to play that song at the Grand Ole Opry one day," right away. And so I didn't tell my parents. I made it a surprise, and that night I
Oh my gosh, I bet they lost it.
It was emotional, and it wasn't a dry eye. And even I've never been that emotional, like just so overwhelmed at a moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got to play that song and do it on the Grand Ole Opry, and I have fans ask about it a lot who've seen that video and will ask me to play to the show, and so that song's special for me.
Well, congratulations
Thank
on that.
you so
That's
much.
so cool.
Yeah, it's really cool.
I was on the road, so I could not come to the Opry. But I was getting online trying to find somebody that was there. Because I was curious as to how it went.
You gotta click it.
Who is this character?
Cran Man.
Click play
You know
on
Cran?
that. Click play on that.
No.
We know Cran.
Hey, Conor, thanks so much for having me out to the Grand Ole Opry, man. This is the coolest thing I've ever done. It's always been a dream of mine. There's nothing cooler than getting to do it with you, standing in that circle together. I just hope we'll get to do it a bunch of more times, man. But until then, I'll see you on the road, brother. Love you.
That's my best friend in the world right there.
Yeah.
So you know Cran?
Oh, yeah.
You know his parents and all that?
Oh, yeah.
So Cran we became best friends in high school. We were both in the math class that was like 3 grades below what we should have been in.
Okay.
But we both just loved country music, and so we'd sit around the fire on Friday, Saturday night, and just play every Eric Church, Jason Aldean song we could think of. And he is genuinely like the best person I've ever met. Like just true, like good, pure-hearted.
Yeah.
Sort of dude, and he's been on the road with me for the last 3 years, and we have gotten to just like live out this dream together. Before he hit the road with me, he had never been west of the Mississippi, right? And he'd been on a plane one time, and since then he's been to like all 48, states, and we've just gotten to do it together. And I think I would quit if he ever quit. Like it's one of those relationships, and he means the world to me.
Yeah.
And he'll be standing next to me on my wedding day coming up, so it's going to be really
I was
sweet.
going to say you're fixing to get married.
Yes,
Congratulations
ma'am.
on that, too.
Thank you so much. Yeah,
so exciting.
A lot to celebrate right now.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I heard you talking about the Opry being like your wedding day. I'm like, you better be careful.
Oh, for sure. I said into country music. There's a big difference there. So sweet.
Yeah, Hunter, I've known him since I was going to see his rock band concerts in high school.
I remember those. I remember those.
Yeah, I was playing piano for Ashlyn.
Amazing.
Yeah.
She's the sweetest.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, him playing the Grand Ole Opry with me was just unreal. His whole family there. And just seeing how proud they were, like, genuinely, he's like the best person I've ever met through and through. And so the fact that we get to do it together, and I get to kind of have him with me, and he gets to live the dream too, and we get to do it together, and to see how grateful his family is, it's like there's nothing that makes me happier than his parents, like after a show or them seeing, because he comes out with me every night and we play a few songs acoustic in my live show, and their face after it like gives me so much joy. And so it's been a lot of fun, and that's what I'm talking about at the beginning of like when you do it with people you love and trust that are holding you accountable, like Cran Man. It's just like, man, it makes it a lot easier.
Yeah.
Well, and at some point, you need somebody to share the stories with.
Exactly.
Otherwise, you're out there by yourself,
isolated. Yeah.
And remember when anybody?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, and he's the last one I have, that's truly day one. Like, we've been through band guys and tour managers, whatever, but Cran's been there from the very beginning.
Yeah.
He's seen every layer of it, and just the memories we have now. Like, we'll be sitting in the van after a show, just me and him, the shotgun. He's driving, and we just get to laugh together and listen to good music and just tell stories. And that's the type of thing when we're both grandpas or we have our own kids or whatever. It's just like, man, we'll get to have that for the rest of our lives.
Sure.
Awesome.
Well, and that's, I've gotten to do a few things that you'll get to do eventually, and And a lot of those things sitting on a shelf doesn't matter. You know, it's more like us being able to go, do you remember
100%.
when, you know?
Yeah, just having those memories. And
I'm so glad you've got that.
Yeah, man. I mean, growing up in Nashville, my head was around a little bit. This was always the dream, was just to write songs. And then somewhere along the way, people wanted me to start singing them, sign a record deal. And so I had a lot of time to kind of get my head around what I wanted to do and how I wanted to do it. I have amazing mentors and guys like Thomas Rhett, who really kind of took me under the wing and kind of gave me a window in. And like I said, made a lot of mistakes, done a lot of things the wrong way, but also have good people around me that have checked me on that quickly. And so it feels like we're somewhat on the right road. And who knows? You can only imagine what will happen 10 years down the line. And you know, when you put some miles on the memories.
Well,
which is a good song title, Miles in the Memories. I'm gonna write that in my phone.
I'm gonna. She gets 10%.
Yeah, we'll split it. We'll all split it. It'll be perfect.
Got it.
Man,
it's
thanks so much.
Recorded now, so.
Yeah.
Man, I appreciate your hanging out with us today.
Thanks for
making
including
some time.
me in this. I appreciate it, man.
I can't wait to see what else comes. Let everybody know how to keep up with you.
Yeah, man.
What they're following.
Yeah, just follow Hunter Cranford at Hunter Cranford. Conor Smith Music. It's CONNER Smith Music on Instagram and on the website and everything. And we just put out this debut record, Smoky Mountains, and so y'all go check that thing out. And I would love to see you at a live show soon.
Thank you so
Thanks,
much,
guys.
man.
I appreciate it.
All right.
Absolutely. Great to meet you guys.
You too, Conor.
Have a good day and keep crushing the week.
Hey y'all, I'm Maddye Trew. For more clips from CRS, click the top button. And for more episodes, including live performances from the podcast, click the bottom button. I'm with McMahon on keys.